Hey y'all, and welcome to Politibrawl. My name is Brian, and Dana White absolutely destroys CNN on pretty much every narrative regarding Kamala Harris. He speaks the truth to power. But before we dive into the video, I want to give a quick shout out to my friends, our sponsors of Colonial Metals Group. These people literally have the cure to Bidenflation, but more on that later. Now, let's get into the video.
Campaign has already gotten pretty nasty. I think people expected it to get nasty now that there is a new head of that Democratic ticket. It's the Vice President, Kamala Harris. You know, you have joked before that politics is way nastier than sports or the UFC. But what we're seeing, I mean, there's a labeling of the Vice President as a DEI hire. You yourself have prided yourself on giving both men and women opportunities at your organization. What do you think of this message that attacks the race and gender of an opponent?
Yeah, I don't judge people by their politics and you know, who they vote for or any of that stuff. And listen, I don't know Kamala. She seems like she's a nice person. You know, I have nothing against her whatsoever. And like I said, I'm not political, but do I think that she is fit for the job? I do not, personally.
But it's not necessarily about the policy. It's the approach to attacking one. I mean, I know that you are very well versed in what it's like to have a matchup, and people are going to go at each other for the sake of the sport and entertainment. But when it comes to attacks, particularly, I mean, there was that quote from J.D. Vance, who is his running mate, talking about childless cat ladies. I mean, these are not things that are in line with enveloping perhaps women into the fold, which is something you have always stood for, you say, in your sport. Why shouldn't that be the same in politics?
Yeah, well, listen, politics are the most disgusting, nasty. It's atrocious what is said in politics, and the things that are being said on one side are being said on the other side too, about Trump and about you know, his choice for vice president. It goes both ways. This isn't like, oh my God, look what's being said about Kamala. It goes both ways. They're both saying it. And like you said, it's already heated up and gotten nasty. And like you said earlier, it's only going to get nastier. That's politics. It is what it is. And it definitely goes both ways.
I don't know that it's going both ways to have the childless cat lady comment or a DEI hire. Who's calling you think that Vice President Kamala Harris is calling J.D. Vance a DEI hire, Dana? Come on.
But either way, she's going to say other nasty stuff about both of them. It goes both ways. And as voters, what we need to do is cut through all the BS, and you have to look at who do you think is best fit to run the country for the next 4 years. That is our job as voters. All of this stuff is a bunch of nasty BS. All of it. Who's best fit to run the country? You as a voter, that's what you need to decide. Not, oh my God, he said this, and oh my God, she said that. There's going to be a lot of that over the next several months. Cut through, and especially the media. Cut through all the BS that the media on both sides. You guys are really bad. Fox is bad. Everybody's bad. Cut through the BS and vote for who you think is the most fit to run the country. That's our job as voters.
Did y'all catch that? She took her earpiece out. You can clearly see her going through her hair. She takes something out of her ear and places it to her side. That means that whatever producer was screaming in her ear to shut him up, she decided to go, no, I'm going to let him talk. I can't believe this. There is an honest journalist at CNN. This is a monumental moment, because this lady told her producers, screw you, I'm going to let Dana White talk. And Dana White is an unironic political genius. And that's because he is a promoter. This guy, I think at his core, is somewhat conservative, but he's smart enough to know what the smartest artists know. Smartest artists. But artists who don't get into politics, one of my favorites, Weird Al Yankovic. Pretty sure he's pretty far on the left because, again, Weird Al Yankovic. But he doesn't say anything political. Metallica. I was at a Metallica show back when Let's Go Brandon was a real huge thing. And there was even a tomahawk shop in the audience when they went off stage before their encore. And they didn't get into politics. They didn't say anything. That was just the fans. So you want your artists to not preach to you about politics. We're currently seeing a huge problem with discourse. And it's only gotten worse, unfortunately, because of the internet. Y'all, times are rough. Record inflation is still not under control. We have a president who doesn't know what planet he's on. And the Federal Reserve continues to make dumb decision after dumb decision after dumb decision. You can gamble on Wall Street all you want, but if you want to diversify and protect your wealth, you need to look into my friends over at Colonial Metals Group. These amazing experts understand how to keep your wealth safe and protected from the volatility of our current market. And there's even a great deal for first-time accounts. Free gold and silver-backed IRA accounts, insurance on whatever precious metals you happen to buy for 5 years, up to $7,500 worth of silver, and a nice safe for you to keep all this good stuff in. So go take a look at their website, link in the description below, or call the phone number below so you can talk personally to Paul Stone, CEO, and his amazing team of experts to protect your wealth today. But it's also gotten worse because you have mainstream media outlets like CNN constantly feeding garbage to their audience. And this journalist, or remember, she took out her earpiece and basically told whoever was screaming in her ear to, no, screw you, I'm going to let Dana White talk it out. Because again, Dana White is a promoter. He doesn't want any division. He just wants people to come out, watch UFC, eat some wings, have a few brewskis, and watch some people beat the living tar out of each other. That's what he wants. That's what he promotes. And he knows if he takes an actual political stand, he's going to get roasted for it. And remember, a lot of the people who like UFC are typically men. Men are trending Republican because for some reason the Democrats have latched onto their inner femininity, ironically, considering that Lindsey Graham's a Republican. Don't look that up. But it's weird seeing that the discourse becoming this weird dividing line between men and women. And I guess that's natural. That's been an issue since Adam and Eve. It's been an issue since the garden. It's been an issue since the dawn of time. And it's weird to see that our politics is now trending in that same direction. But Dana White is saying something more important about Kamala Harris. Because he's talking about the actual election. He's not talking about Kamala herself. He's not talking about J.D. Vance and this weird narrative that, oh, he criticizes crazy cat ladies. Crazy cat ladies, have you seen an episode of The Simpsons or Futurama? There are crazy cat ladies featured in both of them. And the funniest thing is they are both college graduates with PhDs. A little bit of a self-report there, but I digress. That's not what the narrative is about. The narrative that Dana White is calling out is a very simple one and a very visceral one. Who is qualified to be president? And the cool thing is, the qualifications for president are very opaque. It's left up to the voter to decide that. That is one of the amazing things about our democracy. It's also one of the most terrifying things about our democracy. But we, as a people, are not fundamentally stupid. We're not. There's no way we can be. Because we've had to survive in a very weird world. You don't survive by being stupid. I mean, John Wayne got it right. Life is tough. Life is tougher if you're stupid. Ultimately, we're having to decide, and this is the question that we need to ask ourselves. Do we want the man who, within 4 years, appointed 3 Supreme Court justices, who oversaw one of the greatest economic booms that we've seen in the past 100 years, cut regulations, cut through the BS of OSHA and EPA regulations that were holding businesses back? Or do you want someone who, let's be honest, slept her way to the top. Now, you don't get to the top without being competent somewhere, but is very weird behind closed doors. Apparently, Kamala's staff addresses her as "Good morning, General" every morning and stand to attention. Y'all don't fully understand how weird Democrats are in their circles. Republicans, and I can attest to this personally, will lie back, kick their feet up, and just joke around with you for a while. And if you mess up, they'll jokingly say, you'll be shot at dawn. Democrats, on the other hand, are a little bit more hardcore and can be mean as snakes behind closed doors. Apparently, there were reports that Joe Biden has been screaming with the staff. Kamala Harris has a staff turnover like no other member of Congress. So you can vote for that. Someone who has surrounded herself with the traditional Democrat apparatus. But we're trying to decide, do we want someone who knows what they're doing and doesn't have a great track record of policy and has abused their power, or do you want someone who has done weird things financially but has a track record of political success? Dana White can't say that because he has another argument he needs to make. He is protecting his UFC. But you can tell which one that he wants, and you can tell which one CNN wants because they won't shut up about J.D. Vance and the childless cat ladies who are, let's be honest, who have become one of the core supporters of the Democrat Party. That's the question we need to ask ourselves. And the answer for me is very simple. But thanks to our founding and thanks to the ideals of democracy, we get to choose. And that is a truly amazing thing. That's all Dana White is getting at here. CNN, however, is trying to push an agenda, which is what they've always done. Folks, my name is Brian. Hope you enjoyed this segment here on Politbro. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Catch you on the next one. And until then, y'all have a good one.